Hello, it's Laura calling from and another sweet, glorious afternoon. Today is Thursday, I believe. It's very hard to know what day it is and see who is coming to join us today. I'm just checking my connection, all the usual things we have to do at the beginning of this process. Maybe I hope that wherever you are today, you've had a chance to relax. If you've got children, it's still school holidays here and over in the UK, and I think it probably is elsewhere in the world. So we've sort of got this new reality, but we're also still just not having to cope with demands of school. If you've got children, if not, then yeah, I wonder how you're feeling after this week after Easter, how it's all been. And let's see who's joining me today. Hi, Hilary. I can't tell on Facebook who's joining me, but I can see. Oh, hi, Helen. Nice to see you. And hi, Ruth. Now, today's meditation I asked the question in my Facebook group of what do you need today? And one of the answers came from a lovely lady who is on this call, who's on this video, this live, to say that she wants to escape from it all. And it got me thinking, because there are so many different ways that we can use meditation. And a lot of the time when I'm teaching meditation, I'm teaching how to use it as a tool to build your focus and your awareness so that you can have a really different relationship with your life, your thoughts, and experience things really differently, because it can be this platform for phenomenal personal growth to really change how you experience things. Because when you're in the meditation practice itself, you start to be able to observe the workings of your own mind, and it gives you clues to the things that are happening for you. Now, we're not doing it to try and solve a problem or find things out, but when we drop into meditation, we do get those clues, and we can see that kind of spills out into our eyes open life. But sometimes we want meditation to be a tool for really dropping into deeper states of relaxation as well, which is also a really valid way to use it. And so whilst I normally give the instruction of sitting up and not having the head back because we don't want to fall asleep, that's for that particular type of brain training kind of meditation. And so I don't want you to what you want is to really drop into a deep relaxation and to really, I suppose, escape from that dropping into a stillness that's already there. We're not going to something new. We're just dropping into what's already within us. So if I'd invite you that if you want to use this as an opportunity to lie back, drop into a deeper state of relaxation, then feel free to do that. And when I was thinking about, okay, so what type of meditation would really help us to do that? Now, there are lots of ways you can do guided visualizations. And if I was working with a group, I would be exploring that, because I think that's a really powerful way. But what I'd really like to do for this format is still use the body and the breath as that way to drop us into that relaxation response, and then use the passing awareness of what comes up and goes through as a way to drop into a deeper space. And I'll explain that as I'm guiding you, but essentially we're going to use a labeling technique that means that when something comes up in our awareness, we just label it and we just allow it to just pass through, rather than attaching to it and then thinking about it and ending up being taken off somewhere else. So I'll guide you through, and just be curious and see what happens when you escape inwards rather than needing to escape by distraction, and see if that's effective, and see if it helps you tonight, if that's what you need. And if you're already feeling feeling quite positive and feeling okay, then just be aware of what else comes up. Sometimes when we can be surprised with the things that come up. Oh, hi Rachel. Rachel's joined us as well. So the usual instructions I give with these meditations, if anybody's watching this the first time, is to let go of the need to have no thinking, because it's like, if I tell you not to think about pink elephants, that's the chances are you're going to think about pink elephants. So if we want to have a meditation experience that's quiet and with no thoughts and really peaceful. If we try and make that happen, that's what we end up with, this noisy mind. So allow your thoughts to be there, allow them to come and go, and we'll use our focus to just bring our attention back. And that moment when we notice and come back, that is the practice, and that's the most important moment. So it doesn't matter how many times we have that moment in a practice, all we have to do, our only job, is to notice and come back. And then with our posture, we want to find that middle ground between active and relaxed. So as I said at the beginning of this instruction, tonight, if you want to make this a much more deeper relaxation experience, you can fully lie down on the floor, on your bed, and just allow the body to relax. Maybe having your arms out to the side, maybe having your legs displaying outwards, so that you just allow the whole body, the hips to open and the whole body to just sink in and relax. And that's entirely open to you as an option. Equally, you can sit up in a chair with your lower back supported and just find that middle ground, so that we're not in that totally relaxed place, but we're also not holding ourselves too rigid and trying to force it. So I'll leave it entirely up to you. What do you need tonight? Do you need to hold yourself and be aware and be really conscious of what's happening, or do you want to really just let go and just be in that deep relaxation? So that's your choice tonight. It's kind of, what's that word? User's choice? I don't know. There's a phrase. I can't think of it right now. I've had a lovely afternoon planting in my garden, which I'm sure lots of us are doing now, because we've had lots of building work. So we've got all these places that have been created as flower beds and have no plants in yet. And the cat just walked along this tar. We had to paint the tiles with some tar. She just walked along this tar. So I've just spent the last 10 minutes kind of scrubbing black off her paws, and I've just realized I've got it all over me as I've gone to sit down here. Bit of a digression there as we're about to meditate, but so get yourself into position, into whatever position is comfortable for you tonight, and however feels right for you tonight. And I'll just check there's no other comments over there. Perfect. And just allow yourself to drop down in this moment. And we'll start by giving ourselves permission to be here. I'm exactly where I planned to be. There's nothing else to do. This is it. This moment is all that's real. Allowing ourselves to be right here with whatever arises moment by moment. And take your attention to what you can hear right now in your environment. Can you hear the noises of the room that you're in? Can you hear the noises outside? Can you hear the noises where I am? And the birds with their nightly conversation that seems to start just about now. I often find myself wondering what they're saying. But just see if the raw sound, that raw experience of sound, can come to you without trying to label it or work out where it's coming from. See if it can just become sound. Noticing how something can be in your attention and in the next moment it's something else. It's changing moment by moment. And perhaps there's other things trying to get your attention right now. Maybe there's sensations in the body, or thinking, or feelings. And that's okay. Just notice that there's those tugs on your attention, and just come back to this moment and to the sounds that you can hear. Letting go, really giving yourself to this moment. And just noticing that tension, that pulling, if it's there. And we'll turn inwards to the body as that way to connect. And we'll start at the feet today, feeling your feet on the floor, and imagining a connection from your feet all the way through the floor, or through the chair or the bed, wherever you are. Just imagine feeling there's a connection going all the way down into the earth. And allowing that sense of connection to ground you, to bring you into this moment. And notice the resistance that might come up. And coming back to just feeling the feet and where they touch the floor. Feeling the toes. Feeling that arch in the foot. Noticing where the weight of the foot is on the floor of the chair. Noticing the points of connection and the points of where it lifts off. Notice if you can feel a gentle, almost like an activation in the feet, like a tingling sensation, as if the feet were preparing to move, even as you keep them still. Perhaps there's even a sense of heaviness or lightness in the feet. Just notice whatever sensations there are, and if your mind's already taken you off, just come back. And then allow that awareness to spread almost like a light traveling up the foot and into the ankles. A light or a heat or a warmth, whatever is the easiest for you to imagine. Maybe it's a color, but imagining that traveling up the ankles now. So you can feel the feet with earth underneath you, the ankles, and as it spreads up the lower leg, imagining that light or that warmth traveling with it, all the way up to the knees. And as it spreads over the knees, the thighs, feeling yourself giving in to this, just allowing this, the warmth, the light. Perhaps there's a heaviness or a lightness in the legs as it travels up the thighs, all the way into the hips and the sit bones. Just resting for a moment with the legs in the awareness. Feeling like there's a connection to the earth still, even as you feel that light, that energy. And then from the hands, imagining that you're holding in each hand a ball of light or warmth, whatever is the easiest for you. Really feel it in your hands, noticing how it's the same or different to the legs and that feeling that you've generated there. Feeling the weight of the hands on the lap or beside you if you're lying down. And that warmth or that light traveling along the wrists, traveling moment by moment up the lower arm. And if the mind has wandered, just bringing it back wherever you got to. And noticing that even when the mind wanders, when you come back, that subtle awareness is still there, that glowing warmth to the crook of the arms, and then traveling all the way up the tops of the arms to the shoulders. Your whole arm bathed in that light or that warmth. Is there a heaviness or a lightness? Does it feel the same in the arms and the legs? Or are there any subtle differences that you notice? Perhaps there's areas that stand out more or less. That's okay, just letting it be however it is, And knowing that this moment is just exactly as it's supposed to be. And if your mind's playing tricks and running away, that's exactly as it's supposed to be too. You're releasing stress from the nervous system. Sometimes when we are overwhelmed and we've got so many things happening, or we're processing and we close our eyes, those things can come up. Notice when they do that there's still underneath this awareness of the legs and the arms that you've generated, and allowing it to spread across the chest. That glow, that warmth, magnifying as it reaches that center of the chest, that center of the body, the heart space. That's literally a magnetic center. It's an energy field for us. Whether you think of that from a science perspective or from a spiritual perspective, there's an energy source there, and when that light or that warmth gets there, it magnifies, and you can feel it spreading down into the belly, joining back to those hips, spilling all the way down, feeling it spreading up the back of the neck, up front of the neck, chin, the mouth, the cheeks, up to the forehead, the top of the head. You're completely submerged now in that warmth, that light, whatever feels the most obvious for you. Your whole body is still, and the movement and the activity of your day doesn't exist in this moment. In this moment, you're still. No matter what activity there is in the mind, it's not real. What's real is that you're here in this moment and you're still. And whatever you're experiencing is real too. It's just your moment by moment experience. So whenever you get distracted, just come back to that warm light traveling through the body, becoming aware of the whole body. And if things come up into your awareness, we're just going to use a labeling from this place of that white light, that warmth, almost like we're separate from the things that come up. So if we hear a sound, we just gently label it hearing, if that becomes the most obvious thing. And then if a thought becomes the most obvious thing in that moment, we'll just label it thinking. If there's a sensation in the body that becomes the most obvious thing, then we label it sensation. So we sit in this warmth, this light that we've created, and just whatever comes up, we just don't react, we just label it. Thinking, sensation, hearing. We'll have some silence now to really inhabit this space. Continuing to label whenever you need to, and perhaps noticing the space between where there's just awareness. And I'll guide you back when it's time. How to come back from this stillness. We use the breath. Just allow yourself to become aware of the breath in your body, wherever it's the most obvious today. Perhaps that's the mouth and the nose, the chest or the belly, and just observe the breath for a moment without trying to do anything to it. And just notice when you do that, that it does start to deepen. Sometimes when we focus on the breath, our mind tries to control it. If that happens, just see if you can let it go and let the breath come and go on its own. And then we'll take 3 bigger than usual breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really slowing down the exhale. Letting the breath return to its natural rhythm. Gently returning movement to the fingers and toes. And whenever you're ready, gently blinking open the eyes. See you soon. That was good timing. Somebody's just leaving my house. So that was just waiting for me to open my eyes. I hope that wherever you are, that has just allowed you a little bit of a pause. Set for a lovely evening, a lovely, beautiful sunny evening. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's nice just to sit for a moment actually after that. Well, I hope that you have a great night. I will be here tomorrow at 5:15 and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Take care.